3, 2, 1. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to this session of the Fireside Chat. Today we have Mr. Freeman Wu. Now, Freeman is the co-founder of Kith and Kin Realty Sdn Bhd, and he's a practicing real estate negotiator that focuses a lot of his time in the Mont Kiara area. Now, Freeman has been in the industry for 12 years already, and from zero experience and to 12 years, he's actually won numerous awards, such as a star agent for Mont Kiara area for consecutive years, actually. He's gotten the Extra Mile Agent Award, and he's also done the Innovative Award and Champion for Individual and Team Sales Awards all through these years. So welcome, Freeman Wu, and congratulations again on so many awards. It tells people about you're really passionate about what you do in the area that you've chosen.
Hi, Ernest. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the invitation to join your chat. Thank you.
Great. Well, Freeman, one of the things that we do at the Fireside Chat is to give our viewers and those who are actually watching insights, information, and knowledge to make better financial decisions based on real estate. And today what we want to do is to focus on the Mont Kiara area. Now, everybody in the Klang Valley knows Mont Kiara. I think it'd be very difficult to find someone, if you say, hey, Mont Kiara, I don't know where it is. Mont Kiara is really very, very famous. Can you tell us a little bit about what Mont Kiara is and what's the history behind Mont Kiara, if you have any?
Actually, Mont Kiara is the place people understand that is the richest people stay there. A lot of richest people stay there. In fact, also a lot of expatriates staying there. Okay, so the community itself, right, is people will feel safe to stay there, and it's a different class of people who are staying there, and also because of a lot of international school like Garden International School, Mont International School, and also French school. That's why make a lot of people staying in this area lah. Back then, actually, Mont Kiara just a rubber estate area, and just can consider a scumboot area. But because of the people there, to make the community up, so right now people know as Mont Kiara.
Right. Okay. That means when you were saying that back then, how long ago was back then?
It's 24 years ago. 24 years. Let me check. I write down. It's about the first development here is 1993. 1993 is almost 20. Oh, time flying. 27 years already.
Wow. Okay. So it's been actually around for a quarter century or slightly more than a quarter century already.
Yes, 27 years already. That is the first development in Mont Kiara.
Let me ask you, since you've been actually focusing a lot on Mont Kiara per se, I presume that you are working a lot with the new launches over the last 12 years in that area. What has your experience been in terms of the people who are living there? Are you finding there's a lot of Malaysians who are moving in from outside the area? That means coming in from either Kepong, Segambut, PJ, moving into Mont Kiara, or are they mainly expats coming into the Mont Kiara area?
I can say I use a percentage, usually for my data, for my own data, from my experience. Usually the occupant, right, 30% is Malaysian, 70% is expatriate. Because most of the development people buy for investment because it's a good rental income. Because of the international school and also expatriate community, can say from Korea, Japan, European, multinational area. That's why usually for my database, right, most of the occupant, 30% only Malaysian, 70% is expatriate. That means tenant. And then the highest, right, usually can up to 50%, 50-50 local, 50% expatriate.
Can I ask you, Freeman, aside from school, what are the other facilities over there that seems to attract a lot of expats to stay there? I mean, not everybody has children, I think. So schools may not necessarily be what they are, would be the reason why they go there. But what about Mont Kiara that causes people wanting to stay there? Can you share? Maybe that can be a good comparison with, say, other parts of the Klang Valley that even though they may have
Yes.
schools over there, but they still cannot attract the foreign expat. What is the difference?
Usually, I just sharing. I told most of the people, one tenant, right? They refer one friend can cause a lot of occupants to staying in Mont Kiara already, because the community itself is quite matured already. All the expatriates, because they started 27 years ago. That's why a lot of people staying there permanent there. After they leave, they will introduce refer their friend to stay there. Because a lot of expatriates, I realize, right, a lot of people, especially foreigner, when they come to Malaysia, they don't know where is Mont Kiara. They don't know where is Malaysia, can say. They only know Twin Tower, where is Twin Tower is. But because of the people, human being, because friend refer, they will feel safer. They more feel more securities guarantee, I can say.
Okay.
Because refer from the friends stay there for many years. A lot of expatriates, especially they contract in Malaysia 3 to 5 years. That's why they stay there for a longer time. So they refer to their friend, they're more confident to stay there.
Right. So mainly this enclave where there's a lot of expats who stay there, this enclave, what you're saying is that a lot of it is actually word of mouth. So similarly, if word of mouth about wanting to stay in Mont Kiara is from friend being friend, so I guess one of the things that I would infer is that because you've been so successful in the area is because your service to the previous generation of renters is so good that even when the friend tells another friend, hey, you should consider Mont Kiara, but you need to talk to my friend Freeman, because Freeman will get you what you need.
You're right.
Well done, well done.
Not only Freeman, because because in the community, right, we work together, not only me alone, a lot of agents also. But just that I spend longer time in the area, so I got a bit more well known now because I spend most of my time, I full force in that area.
Freeman, can I ask you, because foreigners have a different mindset, have a different maybe even way of communication per se, if you're telling me they're from other parts of Asia, Europe, or even the Americas, can you tell me what would it take or what are the main differences to make you stand out to such a community before we get into the properties itself in Mont Kiara?
I always, for myself, I always put myself in other people's shoes. So I would think from their point of view, why they come here, what they fear of, what is their pain point when every time they look for a property, why they want to stay here. That's why just now I can explain that why they stay in Mont Kiara, not because of they understand Mont Kiara, because of they feel the security, they have the security guarantee from their friend. Or actually before they come to Malaysia, they already understand why they need to stay here. So from that part, I already sort of understand what they're looking for. So I'm not wasting their time when I'm searching the property for them or I helping them. So they'll feel more convenient when they look for me.
Right.
Then
okay.
Feel the security as well. Not like cheating them, just push them for something that not they're looking for.
Right. Okay. Now let's get down to the nuts and bolts of Mont Kiara per se. Can you tell me, Mont Kiara, because it's already 27 years old already, are there many new developments in the Mont Kiara area?
Yes, actually still have a lot because of the demand. A lot of people looking for, say, I want to own a unit in Mont Kiara. Is a luxury area, security guarantee area. It's a well-known community area. That's why a lot of people looking for. So a lot of developers actually they try to make a how to say that try to make a want to do a development over there. That's why you see a lot of new new developer also coming in that area.
But where's the places for these new developments? Because it already looks quite compact, quite congested. So where are these new developments in the Mont Kiara area coming out from?
Usually, a lot of people well known that North Kiara lah, and also Tutamas area, like all those metropolis area. Also, people sometimes will claim that area also Mont Kiara area.
So I guess within the vicinity lah. So it's within a very small radius that it's still within a Mont Kiara branding name lah, per se. Okay. Can you tell me, because of your many years of working there already, what would a typical, let's not talk about sales yet, let's talk about just the typical rental rates be like for say, I think comparison, there's probably more high-rise than landed in the Mont Kiara area, would that be right?
Yes, you're right.
So what would be the typical rental rates for say high-rise?
One bedroom, I start from studio 1 bedroom. Usually will, let's say good time, let's say not because of COVID. Actually, 1 bedroom sometimes can start from 2005 up to 3,000 also possible for new development.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, 2 bedroom can start from let's say 2 bedroom around 900 square feet, 800 to 900 square feet, can up to 4,000, 3,000 to 4,000.
Wow, okay.
Subject to the unique condition as well.
Okay. But what about the older developments? Are they also at the same price range as well?
No, not really. Sometimes you compare to the old development, right? Because old already the condo. Sometimes 3 bedroom just usually 3 bedroom minimum around 3,000, like Pines, those old 27 years old development, right? They still have 3,000 rental, 3,000. If you renovated unit, sometimes get up to 4,000 also.
Right, okay. And then for the rental per se, when you talk about the newer ones, are there any new just handed over condos that seem to be standing out, like very popular? Are there any new developments that are popular?
I say the latest one. The most popular one, Residency 22. R22, just right opposite, because they have two dual entrance. One entrance in front of Garden International School, another entrance is behind Aquaris Mont Kiara. So they have two entrance. This is the highest, one of the highest demand condo in 2019 and 2018-19 to current market.
Is it because it's
high demand?
Is it because it's a new condo, or is it because it's got some unique facilities that other condos don't have?
Definitely, because one of the reasons is because of new. Because when foreigner they come to Malaysia, right, they want to feel more safe when staying in one new condo, right? Because of the defect, less defect for the unit. That's why they feel more comfortable, and also because of the convenience. The one door can go to school, another door can go to mall. I consider the commercial area.
Right. Okay. Then how has this affected, say, the property prices? Where do you see the property prices have been over the last 12 years, and where do you see it going over the next, say, 3 months to the end of the year?
Because of the COVID right now, I see the price is not much, even for the new condo, right? People still try to looking for some good buyer. That's why the price is difficult to increase. By right, some of the like the latest project like Pavilion Hilltop and also Residency 22, right? Actually is one of the highest demand, can up to 900 per square foot in sub-sale only. Sub-sale can up to more than 900 per square foot. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
It's higher than what we expected, because a lot of people looking for these two particular condo itself.
Wow. Okay.
But because of the COVID-19, the people mentality, right, say that this is the timing people can look for the good buy. So will make them make decisions lower and try to negotiate for the lower price. Sometimes because of the situation, owner just let go slightly lower than what should market asking for. That's why I foresee this coming 3 months, the price is not cannot increase too much.
Do you see a lot of auction property in the Mont Kiara area? A lot of lelong property? Do you see that?
Oh, not really. Actually, this is not really a lot of lelong property in Mont Kiara. Because all the while still have the rental demand, 70%. Most of the development have 70% occupant, foreigner occupant. That's why most of them is rental market. They are renting the unit. That's why the rental market there is very strong.
Okay, noted. So basically the rental market is very strong and therefore the prices also don't go down too far below because the owners can still recoup. And because of that as well, that's why the prices of the property in the subsale market is still holding as well.
Yes.
Even though there may be pressure to sell for those who may be overextended.
Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
So do you think, would you advise someone to actually purchase a subsale landed property in the Mont Kiara area? Like in the Sri Hartamas area, would you say that would be a better buy compared to, say, a high-rise? What do you think? Or maybe a townhouse?
You mean for investment or for own stay?
For investment.
For investment, I'm not really advise. For my personal opinion, for my experience, I'm not really advise buy landed property for investment compared to high-rise, because rental rate, right, compared to high-rise is lower because the land limitation, right, in Mont Kiara cost the property value very high for landed property. In terms of, if you say the appreciation also, because the transaction is not much because it's limited also. That's why the appreciation also not that fast. So if you say buy for investment, I still recommended go for high rise in Mont Kiara.
Right. Okay. So if I were a first-time buyer,
Yes.
and say my budget is assuming that I have some cash, I can put, say, a 200,000 or 300,000 deposit.
Okay.
Because I've worked for some time and also wedding present or whatever. What could I afford to buy for, say, the 700,000 ringgit range? Is there any buys in Mont Kiara? Obviously, I can't come to you say I only want to pay 200,000. Is there anything there? I don't think there'll be anything there in Mont Kiara for 200,000. But what would be a good entry price for a first-time buyer to consider when they look at Mont Kiara?
If buy for investment as well, right?
Yes, actually, buy for investment.
Then I will advise go for fast rental, because first time you definitely have to get a fast rental unit. So usually buy for the let's say below 1 million, right? Still have old condo. If old condo, most probably you need to do some renovation. You can get some good, really good buy unit, because the property itself already appreciate a lot. So the owner can sell slightly lower compared to the market price at this market situation.
Okay.
So, but you definitely need to renovate the unit to have a good condition for the unit for the rental. If not, expatriate usually they will worry about the unit condition.
Would the expatriate be more worried about what's inside the condo or the outside of the building itself before they go in? Because I know that you can talk about renovation, but renovation is only in your unit.
Yes.
But if the outside is not renovated or the outside is not updated, it may look kind of sort of old as opposed to the inside. Would that cause the expatriate potential renter to say, no, thank you, just give me to a new one?
Not really in Mont Kiara. Not really, because actually the building itself, most of the building in Mont Kiara, they maintain very well. Because usually high rise is a strata 5 unit. So need a lot of effort for the owner to work together, not only management itself. If the owner, they have to understand to take care of the building. But if you say the facade design, that is very hard for to do some changes. You only can maintain, like do all the painting.
Right. Okay. Would you then also recommend that if someone wants to buy, and if there was a unit that was already available, a subsale unit that's available, but at the same time there's a brand new product, but delivered only 2 years from now at the same price, what would you advise the potential buyer? Or just say, if I'm interested to buy, would you advise me to take immediate delivery or 2 years delivery, but both at the same price? Freeman, so I wanted to actually ask you, if I had one budget that I could actually choose to actually buy a subsale strata or buy a brand new that may be delivered 1 or 2 years from now at the same price, which one should I get for investment purposes? Or which one would you advise me to get?
Usually, depends individual preference. But usually, I will try to understand. From your side, you are more preferable brand new, or you preferable have immediate income. Usually, I will advise. I wouldn't think that will be the same price, especially for the location as well.
So what you're saying is that it depends on my needs, it depends on what I want to use it for, it depends on my goals or my financial goals.
Yes, I will try to advise based on your best.
Okay. Can I ask you, as a family, would Mont Kiara be very conducive for singles, couples, or family?
Usually, mostly because of the size is quite majority from around 1,005 onward, the size 1,005 2,000 square feet, and also a lot of big size unit as well in Mont Kiara. So I can say it's a family oriented area mostly.
Right. Okay. And what about the other areas that want to pull people away from Mont Kiara? Let's talk about the other side of the Penchala Link. Do you think that the location across Penchala Link could also pull people by saying that, yeah, it's close by, you don't have to pay that price, or maybe slightly cheaper? Or do you think that would be something that could be of competition to Mont Kiara?
Definitely, the competition is there. But if you compare apple to apple, right? I don't think it's different location. Actually, it's different crowd, right? What I can say, it's totally different. A local area and mixture area. Because in Mont Kiara, mostly own the property is local. 70% is local owning the property, but the occupant is the other way. 70% occupant is foreigner and 30% is local.
Right.
So if you say competition, definitely people usually will look. If not too familiar, then they will compare if Apple, or use Orange to compare with Apple.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
But if that's the case, then do you see does Mont Kiara have any negative sides or negative aspects or challenging aspects? One of the things I can think of is maybe the jam. The roads are quite narrow, and if everybody who goes to Mont Kiara drives, and it's quite a popular spot for, well, this is before COVID, of course, for entertainment and a lot of restaurants over there. But when there's a lot of cars that go over there, it's very challenging to navigate through. Is there any part that you consider as, hey, this could be a bit of a negative side? How about level of crime? What about the level of challenges that you have faced or heard of in Mont Kiara?
Usually, just the challenges is if you investment because it's too many comparison. The only one negative side, what I can say, because in small area, people can compare around. That is the only thing. So you need to always ready. I mean, the unit itself have to be always ready for people who come to you. Before they come to your unit, you have to be ready for their unit already. That is the only negative side, because it's too close. So people will compare around. If you're not ready, you may miss the tender, especially this timing. Less expatriate coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So can I ask you, if for instance there's 70%, you say 70% of units over there are for rental,
Yes.
because a lot of it is owned by locals, but 70% is for rental. If for instance the economy, that could be a risk, wouldn't it? I mean, if for instance the economy doesn't have a lot of expats coming into work, then they will put pressure on the units to get filled up. That could be one potential risk. Would you say that?
Yes, I agree. But so far, because of a lot of people expatriate, right, they stay there for a long time also, because like some of the Korean, actually they stay here like their second home.
Mm.
However, they are renting, or they send children to here for studying for 5 years. They will stay there. Like some of the family, they just accommodate their children for the studying. That's why, so far, yes, the risk is there, but so far what I can see, still very strong. However, during this COVID, right, I can say the rental is compared to previous, right, is dropped a lot, but the rental case, I mean the transaction still there. They are moving around.
So volume of transaction is there, but value of the transaction is lower, lah. But
Yes,
how
yeah.
much has the rental dropped? I mean, like 5%, 10%, more
So
than that,
far,
less than
right,
that?
I can see yes, 10%, at least 10%, 10 to 15%.
Okay, what kind of rental are we talking about? Like 3,000 to 4,000, 10%, or 2,000 ringgit to 3,000 ringgit, 10%?
I say average,
On average,
averagely, yes, on average,
okay. Do
10
you
to
find
15%.
that the bigger units have more demand or compared to the smaller units, or the smaller units have more demand than the bigger units?
I usually use this comparison for in Mont Kiara area, right? Actually, I say rental. I usually determine, I use income to determine the rental. Like especially like local, usually you can see, right, the faster rental will be those 1,000 plus to 2,000. 1,000 to 2,000 because of the income level to determine the rental. So in expatriate, usually the faster rental will be around 3,000 to 4,000. 3,000 to 5,000, I can say in this range is the faster, because the entry level for the foreigner, because of currency and also their income is different.
Right. Okay. Okay. Can I ask you, perhaps one of the last questions I wanted to ask you to tap your mind is this: if, for instance, Mont Kiara is going to be thriving and booming, but there's a lot of new developments coming up, obviously, then the next question I have to ask you is that economically, if we have a lot more foreigners coming to work for jobs, and these foreigners are all friends of people who already stay there, then I understand there's going to be a lot of demand.
Yes.
But if there's so many developments that are coming up, would that cause another pressure? You have a slowdown in the economy. You may have a slowdown in the number of expats coming into work. I don't know what the numbers are, but will that cause like more supply, and all of a sudden everybody wants the newer condo? Would then the condo people who are owning the older condos have a tough time trying to retain the customers, or they have to drop their prices to retain the tenants?
Yes, definitely. Because what I can see, right, you will change the, usually when have more supply, people go for the new development, right? How about the old condo? A lot of people always have this question in mind. But for the old condo, most of them will be the new category of people who started to invest in Mont Kiara, right? Usually they will own this kind of unit because it's lower price, and the rental also more reasonable at the moment. So you will be the new crowd to coming in for the old condo. But the location cannot be changed because it's very compact, right? They will expand to wider.
Freeman, when you first started working in Mont Kiara, can you give me an example of when you first started working, one of the condos that you worked at, the for sale price, and today, that same condo for sale price, what's the price difference?
Okay. For when I started in Mont Kiara, right, I started from Ceria Kiara, one of the lower price in Mont Kiara at that moment in Jalan Kiara 3. For that moment, for the 2 square feet, right, is asking about 700K, 700 to 700 plus.
How long ago was this?
This one should be around 7 years ago. 7 years ago.
Okay, 2013. Okay, 2013.
No, more, 6 years ago. 6 years ago. 6
Okay.
years ago.
Okay, so
Okay.
2014, 1,800 square feet, about 700,000 ringgit. Okay.
Yes. Right now, the price still asking around 900 over.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the rental for that moment is around 3,000 plus, because it's more to family oriented, not the fancy facility, just like a very normal condo in Mont Kiara, I can say. Not like all the full facility. They just have a small pool and gym. That's it. It's a normal condo. But the rental day start from 3,000 for that moment, 3,000 onward. Until today, still around 3,000 to 4,000 plus.
Wow. So you've held your rental yield, but you've increased your capital appreciation at the same time.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is there any underperforming ones that investors can start saying, hey, this one can be quite good to look at right now?
Yes, actually, during MCO, you can see a lot of condo that is, especially old condo. Actually, because of the appreciation, they up a lot, but right now they're willing to sell lower. So it's a good opportunity to come in. But the rental itself, right, still there, still the same.
What would
because
you
all the new development, because of new development, all asking for the highest price.
So if I were to buy a second-hand unit or third-hand unit, that means a subsidy unit, what would you recommend in terms of renovating it to what level to attract what kind of prospective tenant to come in? Should I invest it into, say, Asian renovation to tap the Japanese or the Korean market or the Singaporean market, or should I use it to Caucasian, whereby Australian style or European style? Because the cost of the renovation may be slightly different as well. What would you recommend?
Usually for the lowest rental, right, you will see mostly aim for Asian, like Japanese or Korean. But nowadays, we see some of the local tenant also coming in because of the low rental.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's also very convenient to stay there because it's like you can run anywhere, PJ, KL. It's quite
Yes, you're
convenient.
right. And also different lifestyle. People prefer upgrade their lifestyle to the expatriate area.
Okay, I understand.
That's why if you say, I would say it's an Asian market. You will go for the location. Location is the most important key when you look for the investment. Especially convenient for because local like Japanese, right, they prefer convenient, like can walking distance to the mall or commercial area.
Okay. Well, Freeman, thank you. It was such a great pleasure talking to you today to actually understand better about Mont Kiara and what Mont Kiara has to offer. And it definitely does sound as though Mont Kiara is the place to be at because price point is actually quite attractive right now. Subsale is actually quite attractive right now as well, but you need to probably invest a little bit in the renovation to update your unit.
Yes, correct.
And it's a place whereby the rental yield is still holding up, even though right now there's a challenge in terms of the economic headwinds, but the rental yield is somewhat holding 5%+ 10% is probably what the owners are trying to do to try and get the tenant in quickly, but then it's still holding the rental. Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. Maybe one of the two things that you wanted to say towards our viewers and listeners watching today, do you have anything that you want to add for Mont Kiara that could benefit them?
Actually, not much, but have to understand when you buy for the property, right, have to understand own financial status and have to understand what is your goal, long-term, short-term, or immediate income, immediate rental. You have to understand before you make a decision. Definitely have to understand yourself and also the risk you are taking, because sometimes because of the unforeseen situation like what we mentioned just now, sometimes because of a lot of foreigner suddenly, maybe because of like this situation, COVID-19 will cause the slow rental, then you have to what I can say, you have to stay strong a bit lah, try to improve or you adjust for your rental.
Freeman, out of 10 transactions that you're doing, say maybe over the last 3 months, 4 months? Out of the last 10, how many have been for sale? How many have been for rental?
I can say 50%.
Okay, then can I ask you, the last 50% that you did for sale, were there any challenges with the valuation or not? Because a lot of times when people want to buy, even though they agree on the price, the buyer and seller agree on the price, they depend on the banker for the loan. Has there been any feedback on the valuation?
So far in Mont Kiara for past 6-7 years, I don't encounter any valuation issue so far. Maybe because of the demand in the area. Sometimes we also surprised at like just now what I mentioned, some of the condos suddenly high demand up to 900 plus per square foot. Still managed to get the bank valuation.
Oh, that sounds fantastic for the buyers. It also
May-
sounds fantastic for the potential buyers as well, that they are able to then secure a mortgage that is backed by the value of the unit that they actually want to purchase. That sounds
Yes.
great.
Maybe because of the confidence from the valuer itself, maybe because of the rental and because of the confidence with the developer, confident with the area itself. That's why so far so many years I don't encounter any valuation issue.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Thank you so much again to Freeman Wu for sharing his time and his insights on what's interesting in Mont Kiara. And ladies and gentlemen, if you actually want to get started on your property journey, of course, we can actually help you with content, but do reach out to all our speakers who have been on this channel and tap them as well if you want to get insights and if you have any queries to find out more about the locations that they are focused on. Thanks again, Freeman. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank you, Ernest. Thanks for your time.
Take care.